Hi everyone, Scrappy Kathy here, and welcome to the celebration hop for Scrappy Adams' YouTube channel, having meteorically risen to a subscription level that no one could imagine in such a short period of time. He's just gone viral, if you wish. He's amazing, and we all know and love him. This is also going to serve as my design team layout for Dottie About Flair because the two happen to coincide. And so you can expect that there will be lots of flair. And I'm going to scrap lift Adams, this Amsterdam page. It's one of my favorites of his, and I think it's one of his favorites of his too. His is monochrome, kind of red and black and white with a little bit of brown, kind of wood grain thrown in, and it's an amazing page. I'm going to pick up a few of the things that I like about it. Mine's going to be monochrome green and black and white with a little bit of red thrown in for the London references, as in this, the telephone box. And then I have this, I'm not quite sure I'll use it. It's a beautiful red perspective from, I'm sorry, I've just put something down and lost it, and it has nothing to do with what I was saying. It's from Bramble Fox, and I have a couple other Bramble Fox geotags and airplanes and cars that I'm not sure whether I'll use those. And then I have some black and white hearts from Redefined Creative. So I've got lots of little things. I'll show you in a minute what all I've assembled, and I don't really know what of it is going to make it onto the page, but I will also tell you that I have my page taped down so that I can't move it out of frame, whether I want to or not. And so we'll try to see if that works out. I'm using, again, kind of a temporary setup piled on embellishment boxes and an iris box, and I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pads of Vicki Boutin's mixed media paper. And that about puts it at the height where my entire page will fit, as long as I tape it down and don't move it. So we're ready to go. Adam's page is camera oriented, and so will mine be. He's got some like pattern paper back there. He's used some dies from Bramble Fox, and I have those same dies, so I've, blatantly copied him there. He's got lots of stamping, and I have a whole ton of stamp sets. And let's show you what else. I had this sheet of hoarded paper from Sketchbook, which by Amy Tangerine, and just as a side note, this line, this sketchbook line by Amy Tangerine. Amy Tangerine was the first designer I was aware of when I started scrapping. I'm not sure where, this goes back to 2011. So that's when I started doing 12 by 12 scrapping and going to Archivers, the big scrapbook chain that was wonderful, and it was like going to Disneyland for me. So this sketchbook line still ranks as one of my all-time favorite lines ever, and one of the reasons is this particular camera paper. And I have fussy cut about 5 million of these cameras in the past. I think this may be my last sheet of this. So I cut a strip off of it, one that includes the kind of green, inky mixed media there. And I'm going to overlap it on something else, but I'll show you. And I cut a few things out of this Vicki Boutin paper from Color Study. And I cut something out of this Vicki Boutin mixed pre-made mixed media, and I use both the kind of bluish green area and the yellow green area, and you'll see that stuff in a minute. So that's the labeled stuff I had. The kind of bluish green paper I'm using is Bo Bunny Mamarazzi 2, and it's called Viewfinder, and it's an amazing paper, and I think this scrap that I'm using may be the last I have of it. So I cut the Bramble Fox dies out of this end of it, and I'm gonna let it frame this. I'll kind of put this over it, and this gives you both the yellow green and the kind of bluish green, and there's a little bit of that shows right there, but I'll be embellishing over that. That's not going to be an issue. This is the reverse side of that paper, and I don't want to waste the scrap, and I'm already using a lot of the green, so I'm going to use this kind of as an accent. I've got the word London that I fussy cut out of a paper line by Echo Park called Around the World, and there was a London page, and that's where I fussy cut the phone stand and the double-decker bus and the word London. So I'll put that aside. Let's go through. Okay, I've got that scrap that I'm going to use. I'm going to put these aside. Let's go through these stickers, and then I'll show you the stuff in the tray. I've got some London stickers here, not sure where or, you know, if they'll make it, and if so, where they'll go. I've got this one, which I kind of like, this little arrow. I'm not sure what that's doing here. But I also like the ticket, and I like the black taxi cab that says not all who wander are lost. So that's probably definitely going to make it on there. These are my two photos. These photos were taken in London when my cousins Susan and Jane and Susan's daughter Amy came to visit us when we were living in Brussels, and we immediately hopped on the Eurostar and went to London, and then came back on the Thalys and stopped in Paris for a couple days, and then back to Brussels, and then they took off for Ireland. They actually flew to Ireland and rented a car and drove around doing a heritage trip for Amy. It was her 16th birthday, and what she wanted to do was look into her dad's family's heritage. They're Rileys, and so they went to Ireland. And John and I went on a pre-planned trip to Luxembourg, so we were all over the place that summer. This was in July of 2001. And so I'm going to put that fussy cut word London on here, and I hope I haven't lost it. I may have misplaced it, but I'll find it somewhere. So I'm going to put that there. This sticker sheet has this little thing that says, let's go, and exciting things happened when you least expect it. So I may be able to find a place for those things to go. I always, when I have a photography theme thing, I always love to use these cut files from Christina Sorge at Redefined Creative. And I'm just going to kind of pull that one and just say that I'm going to use this. It's kind of bent up, but that shouldn't matter for, I can straighten it out when I'm gluing it down. So I'm going to put that off to the side. This sticker sheet has lots of fun stars and arrows. There's this, I read maps more than books. I read more maps than books. probably true. I like this little stack of luggage, although I'm not sure I want to introduce those other colors. There's this green, Discover New Places. So those are some possibilities. And I'll kind of put that off to the side. And I'm back to my white sheet of paper. Let me go back. Here's my London before I lose it again. As you'll notice, my photos are slightly different sizes, but I'm going to embellish so that that's not a problem. I'm going to go ahead and sit down now, and we'll start putting this together because I have lots of stamping and lots of embellishing to do. These are the two die cuts I did out of that Mamarazzi paper, and they're the exact same ones that Adam uses. The stars are right here and the numbers are right there. Actually, I think I've used a different one of the number cuts, but that's okay. I've got this scrap and this scrap. I've got sequins in the three predominant colors of green that I'm going to be using. This is the kind of bluish green. It's called Jaded Hearts, the sequin mix there. And then this is Limeade Twist and Guac It Real Good. And you see me using these on lots of layouts. I've cut this out of this paper. Fussy cut that out of the London paper because I'm kind of focusing on the greenery that's in one of the photos. I've pulled these wooden leaf bits and this camera and this arrow. And then just for fun, I got these, I think, off the freebie table at a retreat. I forget which one, but I thought this might be a nice bed for a flare, like, I don't know, something like that, and then maybe add a leaf or something and a sequin or two. I have no idea whether I'm going to use that. And these are just some of the sequins I pulled. As you can see, primarily pulling greens, different greens. This is the bluish green, and I think this has a little bit of that bluish green in it. This is a little bit kind of tealish green, and then some yellow greens and this dark green and some black and white. Some black on white, some white on black. Don't know how many of those I'll use, but I think I have 23 there, and I think Adam may have used 18 or 19 on his, so comparable number if I can fit it all in. Okay, let's do this. I'm gonna just kind of pick a spot for this to go across, and I'm going to put that on, and I know the photo's gonna go kind of right here. So I think that's gonna work. Let's get some glue on this. I normally would pop this up, but I fussy cut the details, and with having done that, it would be really hard to get it to pop up. What I should have done is glued it to some foam, and I know this technique and I've used it many times. Glue it to some foam and then fussy cut it, and then it's already popped up. But because it has I cut the little, margins around it, and because the margins are not snow white, it kind of shows up. So I'm okay with that. So let's get this down. Oops, I've got it upside down. I don't think that's a problem, but there's a detail on it, kind of right here, that's like camera setting. Make sure I get that on there right, since I can't move the white paper underneath. Okay, now this is going to go on top. I'm going to try to place it. First, I need to make sure that the cameras are right side up, because I kind of wanted that to show, and this doesn't really show much, so it wasn't necessary to do to turn it over, but it's okay that we did. There, and I'll snip that off and keep this around for future use. One thing I have not done, which I usually do if I'm putting lots of flares, is put the foam tape underneath them. I'm running a little bit low on foam tape, and I don't want to, okay, I like that as one of the side things. And this maybe, I'm gonna put this so that the bluish stuff shows. And then I've got this, which I may tear also, and have it maybe off to the side like that. Is that how I want that? That's too much showing. So if I do that, I want to be sure I have room for the phone box. Okay, let's just commit. I'll do this, kind of like that, and I'll butt. Because I have to have room for some stamping down here. Okay, put this here. And then, oops, I've got I can go there. I have this piece that I thought I might use up here, kind of like Adam did on his, but I may end up using it on the side. We'll see. An absolute necessity is for this little guy to go on this side. So let me do that. I'll kind of tuck it under. And then I've got this. I may only use one of these, and that's kind of, I'm thinking it's going to be this one because I can't find the other one. How on earth does that happen? You just got to be Scrappy Cathy to know how to do that. Let me put, I'm going to put that off to the side. where on earth is that thing? I'm going to put this one here. Let me get it trimmed a bit. Maybe I could put it out here under this guy. So that allows me to do the stars right here. Okay. Let me just get some glue on here. And I'm just gonna put it in a few places so that I can adjust and get it straight. I'm gonna tuck that under. Not easily. It's pretty well glued down there. Okay, there. And then move that out to there. And because it's cut intentionally to have, bits missing, it doesn't matter if it's perfect. Okay, let me get these sequins out of the way. There's my number bit. We can test, it fell on the floor. We can test whether that's a better one, because it can kind of go under there, or do I want the stars? Because I think I guess I could do this. I could do this right here. And this one under there. I'm going to commit to this because I kind of like seeing the numbers there against it. It puts the bluish green right up next to the yellowish green. I know I want to use the top one. Not absolutely sold on the bottom one. I may cut part of the bottom one off. Let me put that in there like that at an angle. And I can put a sequin down or something on there. This one, I could maybe do this at an angle too. I'm just going to do this. That still leaves me a little circle of stars that could be used someplace down the road. So I'll do that. I can think about doing that. So this one could actually go over here, or let's do it under, maybe 1 point over, 1 point under, and maybe like that. And I'm just gonna kind of put glue in oddball places. I have no idea where it'll stick. Okay, let me kind of wipe that glue off and get it on my nails. That's what you want. Okay, there. I'm going to leave that like that. I kind of want to do something right here. Maybe this guy. Could be right there. And that gets me out of the obviousness of, let me put this down so that I'm not obscuring the word telephone. I just want to obscure the difference in the sizes of the photos. Okay, now that I've done that, I'm going to start stamping. I think that's the next order of business. Okay, so I know that Adam has a lot of little small stars stamped around, but I'm going to first do the circles and so forth. And he's overlapped a lot of his stamping, and he's stamped in both black and green. I'm actually going to just stamp in black. It's easier to do when I'm filming because I don't have to change ink pads and you know, guess which one is going to be what color. And I think if I add enough sequins and other green elements, I think it'll have somewhat the same effect. So I'm going to start with a stamp that's meant to go right above the, if you'll notice in Adam's, he's got like, looks like, well, he's got a die cut that has clouds. I'm going to put a rainbow, and I'm hoping it'll stamp across that pattern paper and get onto the white. And I've got that outside part of the rainbow and then the inside part. So I'm going to do the outside part. I have to do it with a different stamp block. And then I'll do the inside part. It would be kind of fun to do it in a different color, right? But it's not going to happen. Okay, it did. That worked just fine. And now I can do the inside on my smaller block. Just kind of fit it right in there. And it should be good for a green flare to go somewhere maybe like there, and then I can have a word strip or something there. So let me get that put in place. What I'm going to do is kind of, as I stamp, I'm going to design each scenario, if you will, as I go along. because it kind of, it helps me to compose. Now, I did a very flare heavy layout for my design post on the 20th. I actually did the layout yesterday, and it was, I did all the stamping first because I had a background that pretty much set the design. It was a background of polka dots, and I just stamped around and about them. But in this case, that's not what I'm doing. See, I had a word strip or a tag. I like this one that says, exciting things happen when you least expect it. And it introduces another color, but I think that's kind of okay. I'm gonna do this. I don't want to cover up too much of the greenery here because that's kind of what set my color scheme. I could use something right there, maybe a small like word strip that says something like discover, or there's discover new places, or maybe just a star. Let's do maybe the little wood camera. How's that? I've got to find a place for that. And it can slide down behind the photo. There's also cheers that I haven't used yet. Okay, that is that's an okay cluster for there. So now I'm going to do a small kind of a starbursty stamp right here. I'm going to start kind of going around, and I'm going to use this one a couple times. It's not stamping perfectly, but that's okay. I'm going to tell myself that's okay. The stamping yesterday went perfectly. So I'm not sure what's happening here. Okay, I do want to put this guy somewhere, but I kind of want it to be part of a cluster. So maybe I do not sure. Let me just put it on some foam and put it down because it's my given, as John would say. He said it often enough, it's a given. You know? He said it often enough that even he kind of made fun of himself about it. Okay, so do I want this wood thing, or do I want to use it kind of around in the frame? I'm going to plan on not using it right now. Let's instead use a black and white flare that's got lots of black on it, and we'll do that, and I'll make them X's instead of crosses. Apparently, that's what I'm doing. This red travel, I might have to see if I want to use that. I'm not absolutely sure, and I'll worry about those smaller things down the road. But what I thought maybe I could use is this part circle here. Let me just put a little glue on it so I can move it around. I want the ends to be hidden, and if they're not, I can always put sequins on them. So sequins will cover a multitude of miscuts, shall we say. I'll get that there. I had hoped to put that under there, and there it goes. And that means there's a sequin required right there, and because I kind of cut that, that might go. I could put an arrow here, and let me just do that. I've got this arrow with some yellow paint on one side, and yellow doesn't fit my color scheme, so I'm going to use it on the natural side. And maybe I'll do it like this. And that's in an area that shouldn't interfere too much with the stamping. Okay, speaking of stamping, let's get back to stamping. Okay, so let me put these back. Well, I do want to use this square one. And I'm going to use it maybe a couple times. Do one right here. Okay, and I said I was going to do my little scenarios at the time of the stamping, but what I'm going to do is kind of use one set at a time, I think. So I'm changing my strategy here, because I need to put this set away. I've got these large circles, which I cannot use right there, but I can use right here. And I can overlap something to that. So I may use that only once. I've got some others that should work. This needs to be sprayed with a little water. Okay, let's get this stamp set out of the way. I've got this little arrow and it says, "What a view." But the "what a view" isn't sitting on it the way I want. So let me kind of stop all that and get back to some stamping. I have some other circular kinds of things. This is a stamp set called Rays of Light by Visible Image. The one I was using before was, let's see, it's Claudine Helmuth Studio. It's a fairly old set that I got when stores were going out of business. It was on a bargain table, and I hadn't used it much, but I love it. Okay, I'm kind of being hampered by this arrow. I wish I hadn't put it there. So I'm going to go here, and here I am trying to lift up my paper that's taped down. Oh, I love that. Love it, love it, love it, love it. So what I'm going to try to do is maybe use it right here and maybe have it be off the page, in which case I need something to catch it. There we go. And then that can kind of go down. And I have a couple others from that stamp set that I really love. So I'm going to do a couple more. And I may not use all my stamp sets. I've got a million stamp sets out here. And since I didn't know what I was doing, let me put that one on the smaller block. And I'm going to do it kind of close to that one, and same here, and then a flare can go right there, don't you think? And this could also go there, and I kind of messed that up so I can put a flare over it if I want to. But I like how it's shaping up so far. I like that the stamping kind of looks, these cameras kind of look stamped. And the stamping is kind of picking up on that same theme, I guess, if you can call it that. Okay, I've got this stamp that can go, I'm going to put it kind of in conjunction with this so that if I put a sequin or some kind of round element here, it might kind of go along with that. And I'm going to do, there's building up to be something of some white space right in here, and that's okay because, and I'm not going to plan to fill it just quite yet. That is something now that is, I can overlap something else with. Okay. All right, let me put that stamp set away. Like I said, that's Rays of Light by Visible Image. And as you know, I love Visible Image. Right in here, I thought I could do this. This one is called Where Flowers Bloom, and I tend to use this one that looks like thread, and then this. I don't know that I've used the flowers ever. Not that I don't like them, it just hasn't happened. So I'm going to run this across here. It has some circular images. Okay, it has a faded out spot in the middle, which is perfect for a flare. So let's pick a flare to go there. We could do this camera that's kind of the same color green as what it's going to be touching. I like that idea. And I can surround it with some sequins in that same color scheme. There we go. And you know what's happening is I think I did a lot of my stamping yesterday while I was standing up, and I was putting better and more even pressure. But I'm sitting down today, and I think that's the way it's going to stay. I have this little circle element that has a sentiment on it that says live, and certainly that applies. Let's go here and overlap this other circle. Ooh, I like that. And it's kind of wonky, so that works out well. And you may not think it works out well, but I'm not redoing it, so it had better. So that says live, and then I've got another one that says laugh, and they all have circles, and they kind of work, and I can put them in different places, so it's not a strictly live, laugh, love sort of a thing, but all those sentiments will be there, and they all kind of fit the theme well enough. And I'm going to go over here for the love part. And right there would be a good spot for a green flare with a heart on it. So every once in a while, if I get an idea, it's nice to go ahead and do it. Now, I think I'm going to use the big swirl that looks like thread, just because I have to put it on my big block. And I need to do it now so that while I still have space. I'm trying to lift my paper. I'm going to stand up, and I'm going to put it right there, and I might end up being able to put a sentiment stamp and a flare there, and then I can put a smaller stamp up there. And I've got another stamp that would be appropriate here. So let me put that one aside. I'm finished with that set. I've got another set called Creative Chaos. And I absolutely love every stamp in this. But I'm going to use this one that says Chaos Theory because it's the stamping is going to make it, you know, chaotic looking. Let me make sure I put it on right side up, or that would really kind of reinforce the chaos theory idea, right? I'm going to put it off to the side there, and then a flare can go right there. Not quite sure. How about this black one? It's, oh. Here's one that actually looks like it's part of the stamp, maybe. That's kind of cool. Okay, so let me clean the stamp and get it back on its little spot here. I've got another one that's got lots of circles that I thought I could fill up this space with. Okay, and overlapping that works nicely. Okay, again, I'm kind of trying to clean them as I go, which is something I don't always do, and I regret it even when I've done a small amount of stamping, but when I've done a whole bunch of stamping like this, it's just beyond anything I want to clean up. Okay, this is one I've never used, and I'm going to use it in this horizontal area. I'm not sure if there's an up or a down side to it. I'm going to use it in this horizontal area here and to overlap the green. Okay, that's interesting. Not sure I would do it that way again. This might, I need another horizontal piece to kind of go in this area right here. But, well, I'm not going to use that one. What does this other one say? Out of chaos comes creativity. That's appropriate for the design of the layout, but it's not necessarily, doesn't necessarily relate to the photo. Okay, I have in this stamp set, I have this set of, this is one that I've used so much. It's Studio Light art by Marlene, and I don't know the name of the set, but it's just got a million kind of little background stamps. That one's actually not as good as this one that's a little row of hearts. So I'm going to do the little row of hearts. And let's get that inked up if I can find my ink pad. And it's right here all open and waiting for me. Ooh, okay, that's nice. And I've got another stamp that I want to use in the Art by Marlene. Right here, or maybe up there. It's like a tight swirl, that gives me an excuse to use a flare kind of right in association with it, like something like this grid that looks so different from, oh, I've got one. This one that looks so different from that, and then I can use a little, let's see, maybe I was going to use something green there, but I'm kind of liking the idea of using something black and white right here, and then I can put a sequin. I want it offset from the heart here, and I'm planning to use another flare up here, maybe. Oh, I had picked that one, so yeah, there's a lot of black and white there, so I'll have lots of green sequins there. And then maybe this can go here, and I'm kind of wanting to add some green. I'm trying to see if I need to use this again, and I don't think I do. So I will wipe it off, and I'll put that stamp set away. I do have a London stamp. Come on. So I'm going to take it, and I'm also going to use this little small kind of postmark stamp. So let me get this London stamp. Looks like I've never used it. I wish it didn't say London, England, but what the hey. That one's already there, so I'm gonna do this. That's the problem with already gluing things down. Let me go here. Okay, that works. Let me get that back in, and then I'll do the little small postmark one before I put that away. And I can do it on here, and I can maybe do it in a couple places. Let's see, how about up in here? I have to leave room for some stars too. I definitely want to add stars to this. I've kind of got the star theme going. And I think I have this Big Ben. It's a Tim Holtz stamp of Big Ben. I think it's too big for this page. I've also got some circles here that say hello today and remember this and this moment, and I actually kind of like the remember this. I'm gonna put those away. I'm gonna go back and see if I can find, I've got a little camera stamp here that I like, and it's an Amy Tangerine. So let me And I'm going to put it down here. Oops, that says today. I'm going to put it someplace else, maybe in conjunction with maybe this guy. That works. And then a flare like maybe that one. Okay. I'm going to put the stamps away. Well, where's that Amy Tangerine set? There we go. I'm slopping them around now. I want to be sure that I use this sticker. And it is a layered sticker with vellum on top of a clear sticker. So I can have this right here. This is not all who wander are lost. And then I can have this arrow that is a clear sticker someplace, maybe how about right there? Now, I've got arrows and stars to stamp as well, but I want to be sure that I include a fish and chips sticker in here somewhere. It's not, doesn't have any glue left to it. So I'm going to put it maybe, how about right there as part of that little area. Let me put a bit of foam behind this because I do want that there. Okay, it's coming together now, guys. This one that says cheers can maybe go, this guy's on there crooked. And I'll never get it up. How about I work on that after I finish filming? And I've got something there, so maybe we do, how about, I don't like that arrow. I was going to cover it up with something. Where should the cheers go? You all are probably yelling at me to tell me where to put it. How about right there? Okay, now I'm going to, I have a really, really tiny stamp block that's good for stamping when you've already stamped things on your layout, when you've already glued things onto your layout. But I'm just going to have to go with this. It's a good stamp that makes an easy impression. I can do it maybe like that. I moved my cheers around. And I can do one right there. Oh, no, that didn't work. How about I do another one right next to it? Okay, that works. And there are some arrows in this set, but there's this one that says seeing the sights that I think is perfect and needs to be on there. Maybe like right here. Let me clean this guy. I need to stop stamping at some point. But why? You know, let's see, that says seeing the sights, and I can put it right here. Okay, let's ink it up. It came out great. And as long as I really like the photopolymer of Vicki Boutin's stamps. There's one that says photo op, and this particular set is from the Let's Wander collection. It's the set that looks like that. Has the stars, and it has the dies for the stars. So here's this thing that says photo op. Okay, that's good, and that's about all the sentiments I'm going to use. Now we're going to add flares and sequins. Let me see if there's anything I like this green star sticker, and where do I want to put it? Maybe kind of, let's hang it off that piece of flare. There's this green arrow, which I kind of like, and I could have it maybe coming down from this flare to there. I think that's all I need to use from that sticker sheet. I don't think I'm going to use either of these. I think I'm done with that one. I don't think I need any of these stamps. There's this What a View that I would like to figure out a way to use, because it's green glitter. And what I need to do is I need to take, it's a double layered sticker, and there's a piece of foam underneath this. So if I have it pointing this way, the What a View needs to be right there. So I'll glue it back on there, and I may, here's where I wish I had a few more XL flares, because an XL flare with this arrow on top of it would be perfect. Let's do it here, because I made an ink smudge on there. Okay, so now we're going to glue down the flare that haven't been glued down and see what else we need in the way of sequins, for example. Let me get these stamps out of here. Kind of getting down to the stuff I definitely want to use. Okay, so this we were going to use right up in here. And then we had the crosses that we were going to use down here. And I've made a mess right there, so I'm going to cover that with sequins. And then we've got I still have inky fingers, and I should. Let me take an opportunity to wet my stamp chamois and maybe use that to clean my fingers. And meanwhile, you can check out the mess I'm creating. I like the red accents in there. They're appropriate. They're true to life. It's not red for the sake of red. It's red for the sake of London. And so that works out. So I don't have my baggie to put that in, so I'll put it off to the side. Okay. Let's finish this puppy. Okay, that kind of, I'm covering up a star there, but that's okay. I want to use this black heart in an area where there's some green. So I thought maybe here, and I definitely want to use this squiggle green one. I don't have anything down in here, so I'm thinking this could go nicely right there. And then I like the idea of putting a flare kind of right in the middle of that. I'm thinking I might like this one better here because it's close to that yellow-green. And because it's right on the edge, I'm sure when I take the photo, it won't show. Okay, and there's another spot for, this one could be solid black. And then I could put some green sequins on it. Actually, I might like this green grid there. Let's do that. I'll do the solid black maybe over somewhere else. These starbursts are the best flare beds in the history of flare beds. See, I keep wanting to move this page. And if I were able to move it, I'd move it out of frame. And that's, that would be an issue. Okay, so I'm going to put this flare on top of that arrow, and I'm going to layer a leaf right here, kind of as a nod to the beautiful time of year that we were there, the beautiful woods. This was a tour bus that was taking us, I think, when this picture was taken, just right across the street. It was in a park that was right across the street from where the Hard Rock Cafe was. So I can use something there. Let me put that back on here. We can do is that one down? That one is down. I want to do one here. Okay, I'm not happy with how this looks, and it's going to bother me forever and ever. If I take it off carefully, I can maybe put it somewhere else where it doesn't just look like it's careening down the street to hit the bus. And in fact, I'm going to have to leave it there because I am pulling out part of the paper. But I can straighten it out at least, I think. Okay, there we go. And then maybe how about, well, yeah, that's a good one. Are all these down? Oops, that one's not. So that's kind of cool there. Let's put that green one down. I like this because it has all the greens in it. I'm going to put it right in the middle or off to the side. Maybe off to the side like that. And then I've got this green zigzag that I think can go right here. I'm going to put it there even though I've got it seems to go better there. Okay, I have a few left. I don't think I need it. Maybe one right in here. How about this? Or I've got too much black and white. Let me pull another green. Let's see what we have here. I have a different green squiggle and a kind of minty green that actually goes with that. Not liking it. I've got another green grid. I've got a green arrow. How about a green arrow? Yeah, I like the green arrow. I also have this one that has alphas. I like that color. I could use the green arrow maybe here. Of course I will. I just like the colors in this one. Okay, so that's down. I'm wondering, does this look anything like Adam's? And okay, that's kind of lifting up the fish and chips sticker a little bit more than it wanted to be lifted up. So I've got my green arrow here, and I want to put it not on the same level as this, not on the same level as this. So maybe right here beside the word London. Okay, I'm done. Now, I'm going to push all these things off, and I'm going to do something a little crazy. I'm going to do a few out of there, and then I'm going to do a few out of there, and a few here, and I will not use avocados on this one, but, and then I'm going to kind of set about to use those sequins on the page. So I'm going to kind of go like, I know I want a sequin here, here, and over here, let's say. So I'll pull one from there, one from here, and one from there. And where are some things I wanted to cover up or to highlight? On this black heart, black and white heart, I'm going to go ahead and glue this little tiny one that was in the Jaded Hearts collection, and it's kind of reddish pinkish. It's iridescent, so, but it kind of brings a little bit there, these two spots of red, and that adds just a tiny little spot. Let's see, right in here we need some color, and I'm gonna do one of the bright lime greens here. Come on. And right up here there's a stamping mess up. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a sequin there. Let me do one of these larger ones. It's like it's dragging it. My tweezers are determined to drag it away from the little mess there. I'm gonna add a bright lime green sequin to this flare. I'm gonna do a bluish one here on that stamped circle. I'm going to do a let's do one of the clear greens up there, and then I might do something right in here, maybe a trio of stamps or stamps around to fill in that circle. Not stamps, but sequins to fill in the circle. And let's see what else we have. We have this kind, which is a little bit different from those two, and it is the same color as this green glitter on there, so that works there. Let's see, I'm going to do a blue-green one, maybe a trio of blue-green ones on this grid. It looks really good with next to the border there. Okay, we need something on here. Do I have any word stickers? Let me look. I have a little sticker sheet here. Taking it all in, but that's kind of big. Time to have fun. The best day ever, here and now. Taking it all in, and we're off. That's cute. Let's see, what else do we have? Weekend, that was a weekend. Live, love, explore, sunny and bright, no Wi-Fi. Indeed, we had no Wi-Fi. I'm going to go with weekend. This is a clear sticker from a Maggie Holmes set. I'm going to do weekend right here, and then I'll put a little sequin, one of these little bright lime green ones, got right at the end to kind of punctuate that. Okay, and then I need some sequins down in here. So I'm going to go with this clear green, maybe one right there to look like another circle in the group, and then I'll put one over here. Okay, I do need another here's the thing that says traveling. Let me see if this even shows up. Oh, that one's not glued down. We got to glue that down. And I'm going to put a heart that is kind of pinkish, and I'm hoping that on top of the green it kind of changes to red. It does not, so that one doesn't make the cut. I'm going to look for something else. in my planner stickers. Let's see what we have here. I'm not seeing anything that's exciting. I used to have handy a set of travel related things, kind of right out handy, but I'm not, I've replaced them with a a bunch of stickers that apply to working out, because I'm using it for, I know what I have. I have some chipboard stuff right here. I could do just some little black and white piece of chipboard, kind of like right there. Well, actually, I was going to use it on the green. Okay, enough of that foolishness. Let's now come to this area right here. Well, actually, I'm not finished here because I want to do one right there. I'll go with that. Now down here, there's this, I'm going to put a little glue on there and kind of let it stick to the background. And I'm going to put a sequin over here where the stamp didn't completely cover. And this, again, when I take the photo, it won't show, but in my album it will. When I take the photo, I tend to lop off corners and edges and borders and things like that. So I'm going to put this sequin kind of right in the middle of this little starburst. And I'm going to put one of the little blue ones, the little bluish green ones, kind of right here by this star. And whoops, I picked it up. That's a sign that my tweezers have too much glue on them. Okay, let's go up here and do one of the blue-green. I'm going to do a blue-green down here. And then you may recall that I have a big tub of sequins that are left over. So whatever I don't use out of this won't go back in the Spiegelmom's baggies, but it'll go in my big crazy mix of sequins from a million different places and times. I'm gonna do a sequin right here that coordinates very well with that flare. I may use all the rest of the little blue-green ones because they reinforce a color that's kind of predominant in here because of the strips across there. And so many of the other things are the yellow green or the lime green. I'm going to put a sequin right smack in the middle of that camera. I've got 3 more to use. And I'm going to put one right here. This is one more. This is my last sequin, and if you were my last sequin, where would you want to go? I'm gonna maybe do it right here on the what of you. Kind of adds that blue-green to the lime green area there. Okay, that's it, and I have these sequins left, and I'm gonna pull out my giant Crazy Mix, which is right here, and you can see it has mostly green in it, and I think I may have shaken a sequin onto there. So these are going to go in there. Have that one avocado. I ought to just kind of toss an avocado on there just for the heck of it. And because that sequin fell on there, I'm going to go ahead and glue it down right where it fell. I like random things like that. And that's not a place that I would have put a sequin. So I like having it there. Okay, so we're done. I'm gonna untape it so I can bring it up close to the camera. This is definitely one of my longer videos, but there was a lot going on here. I'll bring it up close and then try to get it kind of down there. Thank you for watching, and be sure to check out everybody else who's doing the hop for Adam. And if you haven't checked out Adam's YouTube channel, it's Scrappy Adam, and he's amazing. He has a Facebook page, and you'll see his work on Instagram under Scrappy Adam. So it's some amazing stuff. I see one thing I'm going to do. I'm going to use a Bramble Fox perspective that I forgot to put on here. And I'm going to layer it onto one of the flare. I think I'm going to put it right there and have the cross be kind of right in the middle of the star there. So I won't make you watch me tear the backing off of it or glue it on, but I'll do that off camera. Again, thanks for watching, and I appreciate your patience through long videos like this. When I do a really long one and I set out knowing that it's going to be long, I intentionally include all the steps so that it kind of acts a little bit as a tutorial. So hopefully that's something that you like. So bye, thank you.